Oh, yeah.
Look at this shit. Look at this. It's like oozing out of there. This is people on the back of my throat.
Welcome to Yo Eat This, the show where two friends take you on a culinary journey like no other. From fast food to gourmet cuisine, Mike and Mark will give you their honest and hilarious opinions on the best and worst dishes around. Discover new flavors and join the adventure because with Mike and Mark, it's always an entertaining ride.
This is Katz's Yo Eat This. Welcome to Yo Eat This. This is Mike, Hungry Realtor, and Mark, Food with Foom. We're here at Times Square.
This is Times Square.
Yes.
Times Square, New York City. We told you about this a couple weeks ago on our private accounts. We're here. We're here. We got about a 10-hour day here. We got good weather. We're going to hit a lot of spots. We're hitting bagels. We're hitting a deli, Little Italy.
We're going to do pizza.
Maybe Chinatown.
Yep. And then we're going to go to...
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And
we're going to a restaurant.
We're going to Chazz Palminteri's Italian Restaurant here in Times Square. It's fantastic. I've been there a couple times. It's actually restaurant week here in New York.
Nice.
So we may do restaurant. I'm iffy because the menu, I like to get what I want sometimes. Chazz Palminteri is A+ if you come to New York City. Stay tuned. Enjoy the episode. We're looking forward to bringing it to you.
Yes.
All right, Mark. So we got the big intro. We're in New York. First place we went was the Brooklyn Bagel and Coffee Company, right? We walked 10 miles to get there. At least it felt that way to me.
It wasn't 10 miles. It was like 14 blocks from the train.
God,
it's
summer. The sun's beating down. Even though it's the morning, it's like 90 degrees. They got me traveling through the city. Ubers don't exist. Him and Matt are just kind of huffing. Well, actually, he really was huffing and puffing.
Matt looked like he was going to die by the end of the night. Listen, we got our steps in.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when we were walking through Chinatown. But we'll talk about that in a couple minutes.
Yeah, let's not get too far ahead. So first, let's tell everybody. We know you've been waiting for this. We pushed this up maybe 7-8 weeks ago. We went in August, and then life happens. Mike's got kids, I got kids, back to school, bullshit, all this. So we apologize for the delay. We're going to do our best we can with this. We're going to try to remember as much as we can with this. It was a great day. It was one of the best days I had in a long time. It was a guy day. We ate and drank, and we were pigs, and we enjoyed ourselves. So we're going to try to recollect as much as we can, and we're going to bring it to you.
Yeah.
So let's start with the bagels.
Yeah, I want to talk about this place because I was surprised at how much of a selection they had. They had this huge deli case in there, and I don't know, maybe like 20 or 30 different cream cheeses. Like, it was crazy the amount of stuff that you could put on the
had
bagel.
That whole case with just they had the whole case with all the different cream cheeses in it.
I'll throw a picture in there right now about it. I took a little video of it, so we'll scoop it in there. In the morning, I wanted a little bit of I have a sweet tooth, so I got a cinnamon raisin bagel, and I got cannoli cream cheese, which was outstanding. Mark, what did you get again?
I had an everything bagel, and the cream cheese was bacon and scallions.
That's right.
And
all right, we're in New York. We told you we were coming to New York. This place was recommended by a friend of ours, Kristen. So this is Brooklyn Bagel and Coffee Company. We're on 8th Avenue. We got two different kinds we're going to try here. We got a cinnamon raisin with a cannoli cream cheese, or I don't know if it's just a spread, a cannoli spread. So that's a little skeptical to me, but we're going to try it. And then we have an everything bagel with a bacon scallion cream cheese. So I think we're going to let's do the cannoli first, because that's the one I'm a little concerned about. It's not bad. No, it's good. I didn't think it was going to be good. The chocolate chips, the bagel fantastic. The chocolate chips, they hit. It's good. Mike, you try.
All right, here we go. This was my pick, by the way. I don't care if he's skeptical. I saw cannoli dip or whatever it is.
I will say I was wrong.
Going in just for the cannoli. He's right. The chocolate chips are great. And it's not a cream cheese. It is just a cannoli filling. Let's get some of the bagel. Good crust on the bagel. I got mine. I got to toast it. It's good flavor. I like it. Thumbs up. All right, this is the one Marc picked. It's a toasted everything bagel with bacon, scallion, cream cheese. I'm not a big fan of green stuff, but scallions aren't that bad on my scale of things I don't eat. So I'm gonna jump in and try this right now. Wow. That everything bagel is top notch. It's great. Good flavor. Nice crunch on the top. Soft in the middle. The cream cheese, I'm not getting that much bacon. Might just be the bite I took. Getting a lot of the scallions. Very heavy onion flavor. Could be the bagel too. I'll give it a solid 8.
All right, now it's my turn. The one thing I'm going to say about this place is they're not cheap with the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this shit. Look at this. It's like oozing out of there. So I think I just got the better half.
And for $6.
Yeah, listen. People think New York, they think they're going to get rocked. This was very reasonable for $6. This isn't your bullshit Dunkin' Donuts bagel with cream cheese. See, now I got a bacon hit, but the onion is strong. I got a big bacon hit. This is hit on the back of my throat. No, these bagels are really, really good. They are. They're crunchy. They're hearty. They're not cheap. They're not. This isn't Lenders. This is quality stuff. They bake these. I like this one a little bit more. To me, that cannoli one was more like a dessert. Like I ate half of that. I don't know if I want a whole one. Not that you want onions for breakfast, but I think the bacon making me justify why I want. Plus, I picked this one. So this place is a home run. I'm giving this a 9. I'm giving the cannoli a 7.5. It was good. It's just a little too sweet for me to have on a bagel. For Brooklyn Bagel Company, home run. Kristen, good job.
But it's definitely, I mean, listen, it's cheap eats. Nobody wants to get rocked for breakfast.
Matt had a French toast bagel with regular cream cheese. What I liked most about my bagel was that when it was toasted, there was chocolate chips in the cannoli cream cheese, and it melted, and it was like hot fudge kind of in my thing. You know, like I said, I got a sweet tooth. It's not really it's probably not good for breakfast, but it hit the spot. Yeah, it was a good start to the
Listen,
day.
I was a little skeptical when I watched you order the cannoli dip at this place. I'm going, but I tasted it, and I'll vouch. No, it was legit. It was very good. I mean, obviously, it's not a cannoli. It's not that right. It hit. It went well with the bagel. And again, they're not shot. I can't expect it. You're seeing in the pictures. I mean, it's a heavy dose of that spread in there, and there's so many to choose from. Like your head's exploding. I'm like, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, and already my head's spinning. I don't know what I want to get here. I loved it. I would definitely hit that place anytime I go to New York for breakfast.
Yeah, me too. And then afterwards, we only stayed there a couple minutes. We finished our bagels. It was crowded. They had a good line moving, so we got out of there pretty quick. We didn't hang out. And then I remember walking again for like another 30 miles through the city. Where do we end up after that?
So we walked towards Midtown Manhattan, and we decided to jump on the subway, and we went up more towards where the financial district is. That's where Little Italy is. That's where Chinatown is, and we figured let's see that. Sadly, Little Italy's nothing like it used to be. Yeah. It's just pretty much mostly restaurants and a couple of novelty shops. But the bakery that we hit was legit, Ferrara's. And Ferrara's is known for their lobster tail. And they've been on Food Network, the best thing I eat, all this other good stuff. So I said, that's what I'm going to get. And it was fantastic. It was I can't explain. We'll plug into it. It was perfectly made. It was perfectly constructed. It was perfectly the way it opened. The cream.
All right, so we're in Little Italy, Ferrara Bakery. Me and Mike are here. We got a couple different things. I went with a lobster tail, $7.75. Not terrible for where we are. The goal is to eat this without looking like the final scene of Scarface on my black shirt. I'm not eating it that way. I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go fat end. Listen, I'm from South Philly. Israel's is still the best bakery I've ever had. This is very close. You can see that cream in there. I think one more big bite and I'm going to get to the cream, but I'm not going to take that big bite on camera. So, Ferrera's, this is a solid 8. Solid 8. Little Italy. I think Canal Street, is that what I'm on? Canal Street. Check it out. Now let's see what Mike got.
All right, I got a chimney, which I don't know what that means, but I'm not even sure I said it right. But it's got this layer of like chocolate around it, some of this stuff, mousse, and big strawberry. All right, strawberry is what sold me. So let's see. Oh, there's a little brownie or something at the bottom.
Nice.
Yeah, that's top notch. That's nice and cool. The chocolate's very good. And there's a little something sugary on top of this strawberry too. Yeah, I'll give it an 8. And we're at Ferrera's, Little Italy.
Wow. Now, what made it the best one you ever had?
I think it was the cream. The cream was fantastic, and it was like loaded. Like you took one bite and it didn't fall apart. It wasn't like you bit it and it was just like,
right. You didn't have cream all down your mouth or anything dripping on your chest.
It didn't look like a slob. Yeah, no, I didn't look like that. I looked more like an adult eating a nice lobster tail. But no, it was. I can't explain the texture to this lobster tail, the way that they did it. I mean,
it was like crispy on the outside, right? Like I remember the crunch from it,
and that's how they go. But that cream inside was everywhere. Nice. You never got a bite that was just the pastry. It was a slam dunk, well worth. I don't think it was only like $6 or $7.
Yeah.
So it wasn't anything over the head. But if you go to New York and you're gonna you have to stop and get this. Now you went in a different direction.
Yeah. I had I don't even remember what it was called, but it was like a little mousse dessert, and again a perfectly made mousse. It was the texture was smooth, the taste was there. It was, chocolate and some cream. It was great, and then we sat outside. They had like those COVID buildings up outside in the street, almost got ran over by somebody on their bike because the bike, it's the cement, the sidewalk, a bike lane, and then this area to sit, which I thought was hilarious.
You're an adult. But you're an adult.
Yeah.
You're an adult. I know what you're calling it. Your bell. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, you're an adult.
Yeah, buy a car.
Okay. Take the bar. Do something.
Yeah. Something else I wanted to talk about. You had mentioned Little Italy is not what it was. I felt bad for those guys. COVID really did a number on that area. I haven't been there for years, and to have the managers or even the owner sometimes standing outside the restaurant, like trying to hey guys, please come, like they're begging, and it wasn't just one guy, begging. It was every restaurant. You couldn't walk past without them. Hey, we got this special. Everybody's got the same $20 lunch special, guys. Like we heard it 4 times and we didn't go in yet. So it was a little depressing, but they're doing what they got to do, right? Like they're just trying to get people to come in.
You see how many are around them. They're all competing with each other, and there's only so many people. Mm-hmm. I guess that are walking around. You got a restaurant with 25 tables. it's a tough restaurant business, is a tough business to begin with. But yeah, COVID crippled the restaurant industry. Not many survived, and it's a shame. Like Little Italy is just shrunken down. It's basically 2 blocks.
And then after that, we walked through Chinatown. We didn't see any place that we wanted to stop in. I know we talked about it in the intro, but none of the places really appealed to us, so we kind of skipped it, and we went to Katz's for lunch after, which was an experience. It was great. I liked it. It was weird getting in there. We had to stand in line, which is a good sign because
it was like going to a nightclub.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a nightclub. There's like a dude at the room. He's like, how many are you?
Yep.
I don't know about you.
And then he's giving me a lottery ticket, like not a lottery ticket, like a raffle ticket.
A pink ticket. Yeah.
He's like, don't lose the ticket. All right, you can't leave without it. All right.
Don't lose the ticket. I know. And he wasn't. He was serious. He's like, he didn't say it like, hey, don't. He's like, don't lose the ticket.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right.
I
mean, I've been in New York a lot, and I've never gotten a Katz. I always used to go to Carnegie Deli.
Mm-hmm.
They went out. They went under. Katz is, world renowned. So we said we had to go, and I've never been in it. And look, it is pure chaos.
Yeah.
I mean, we went during the lunch rush. Don't get me wrong. It was like 1:30, give or take. But it's just there's just lines, and it's like pick a line. They're all doing the same shit. And then once you do that, it's like fighting in the cafeteria to go find a place to eat. You're holding a seat. I'm standing in line, walking with these fucking dishes like this. It's just. Well, it could be overwhelming.
That's a funny
part.
If I
was with my wife and my kids,
I
would have had us leave. We're walking right out. She's not playing with this.
So we started out. There's a section where like you can like have a hostess or host like sit you at like a normal restaurant. And we're in that line, and that line's not moving because people just aren't getting up.
No.
And then
it was like 8 tables.
Then we're like, all right, one of us will stand in line here, and then somebody else like look for a table. All right, so I stood in line. Marc found a table. So then I went and sat at the table. Him and Matt went and got in line. Then they came back with these massive fucking sandwiches. Like, there had to be a pound of meat at least.
Easy. I mean, the guy's standing in front of me, and he's just hooking pastrami's, and they cut it in front of you. They give you a little taste, which is always a plus.
Yeah, Matt took that, didn't he?
Yeah, Matt took that sample. He was like, "Can I try?" No, he was like, so. Yeah, I mean, it's not a cheap sandwich by any stretch of imagination, but you get your money's worth. Yeah. Like, I don't think you're getting ripped off. I mean, you're paying for the name, obviously.
Yeah, it was like $25.
But how much? Yeah, and that's not bad. I mean, a cheesesteak here is $15.
I know.
In the city, and that's a cheesesteak. It's not lunch meat. They're cooking pastrami's and corned beef. You got roast beef, right?
I did. Yeah, I got roast beef and cheese, which was yellow American cheese. Like, come on, guys. Like, we're not giving out government cheese here. Like, get some white American or some provolone or something. But other than that, Katz, I like the meat was great. It wasn't too fatty. It was cooked right. It wasn't overdone. Like sometimes when you get roast beef out, it's either really bloody and dripping or it's like overcooked and it doesn't have any real flavor because it's too well done. This was like right in the middle. Right. It was great. Came with a nice pickle on rye bread. I was happy.
Like the pickle?
Yeah.
Yeah. So so you got that. I got a Reuben, and I'm a pastrami guy. My rule is pastrami hot, corned beef cold. That's just how I like it. And the pastrami was like a 10 out of 10. It was juicy. It was tender. And again, like the way that they loaded it up, and their Russian dressing was different for me than what I'm normally used to. It was a different. It just, I don't know. It looked more orange.
So more like a Thousand Island instead of a Russian.
Yeah, but it was good. I mean, and the bread held. You're getting just 2 pieces of rye bread. I mean, there's a lot. For most of us, it helped. People that know how to eat with their hands, and breathe while they eat, it worked well. Some of us had issues. And
I don't know. I think he had some messed up bread.
He had a dry fucking sandwich with nothing on it. Okay, he had meat and bread. That's what he had. We had other things, and let's don't get me wrong. Like eventually, it does start to fall apart towards the end because of it. But like that bread held up. The sandwich wasn't soggy. It wasn't like when bread gets wet, it's in your, like it's sticking in your hands. It was nothing like that. We were full though. It takes a lot to get me full. And I was starting to hurt a little bit after. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I got it down, but that was a big boy. We had to walk a little bit to walk a little bit, get a little bit of meat sweats.
Well, not even walking. We had to find some place to sit down and get a drink too, because and that's when we started looking for what was the name of the cigar place that we went to first?
Davidoff's or something.
Yeah,
Davidoff's.
yeah,
right?
Davidoff's.
We were going to go sit. We want to have a beer. You know, they're well known. They're all over.
But it's a membership place.
Yeah, well, we didn't know that walking in.
And it's like $1,200 or something for the year, or $100.
I think like $1.50 a piece to go in there to sit down, but it wasn't even like there wasn't a bar.
No,
there wasn't anything.
It's just a room.
We were literally paying to go sit in there and smoke. And the guy was a classy guy.
Yes.
He told us, he says, "Listen, go 1.5 blocks down the street. You're going to find this place called the Carnegie Club. It's exactly what you're looking for."
Yep.
I wish I remembered his name because I'd like to thank him because the Carnegie Club was exactly what we were looking for.
Yep. A nice bar. It had like an old library feel, like
classy.
Yeah, exactly. And the waiter that we had was a class act. I wish I remembered his name too. He hooked us up with the drinks, and then we had like summer mules, right? And
we had the mules.
We got he gave us a couple cigars. He cut them all nice and lit them up for us, and we
lit
hung out
them for
there for
a great vibe. It's like the Great Gatsby vibe, like that kind of 20. It's exactly what it felt like. And we're dressed in our "Yo Eat This" t-shirts in this high-ass classy place, but nobody bothered us. Nobody cared. I think it wasn't really crowded. It was a couple people at the bar. I mean, this is middle of the afternoon on a Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day we went. And we chilled, and we were in there a good while. We had to be in there at least an hour.
Yeah, I think it was a couple hours because, we nursed our first drink. We took our time smoking the cigars. Then we got 2 more drinks after that, I think, or maybe 1 more. And we kind of got revitalized a little bit. That heavy roast beef of pastrami kind of made its way through our bodies, and we were ready to go. So then we headed out, and then tell us about this restaurant this Italian restaurant that we went to after for dinner.
All right,
wait, we went to the other place for the other drink. That's what it was. After
Kevin's.
Yeah, Kevin's bar.
Kevin's. We had a beer. Right. It was a cool spot.
Yep.
So from where we were at the Carnegie, we weren't far off from Times Square. We were a couple blocks off. So we're walking towards the restaurant, which was on 47th, I think. And this was only like a block away. So let's go stop in here because plus we wanted to not clean up, but like change the shirt. Like we're going to a nice restaurant. We we're proud of what we do, but we can't walk in with NWO style "Yo Eat This" shirts in these classy places. So we clean up. We had a couple beers. It was a cool spot. It was a jumping spot. It looked like people were coming from work. It was happy hour. It was crowded, music. It was reasonable too.
Yeah.
I think we paid maybe like $7-8 a beer for Manhattan. It's not bad at all. And then we might go over to dinner.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I didn't know what to expect, right? Like, an actor has a restaurant, all right, oh, good, he was in, Bronx Tale, whatever.
We should tell everybody his name so they know where we went. So we went to Chazz Palminteri, and I'm sure everybody knows who Chazz Palminteri is. And if you don't, there's something wrong with you.
Now you can't leave.
Okay. Then, like, watch a movie, Google it. Because if you don't know who he is, then if you don't know, you're probably not following us. But, so Chazz Palminteri has a restaurant in New York, and I've been to it 3 or 4 times. And I've loved it every time I went. And it is not just a name on a restaurant. It's a legit spot. It's a great spot. Mike will tell you, we walked in, memorabilia on the wall. Mm-hmm. You get that, oh, this is cheesy. Like, what are we doing here? We're just selling this guy. But it's not. I mean, he's proud of what he did, and he should be. He's well known. And they see this, and you walk in, and it's a classy room. It's not like suit dressy, like you can obviously, but you could be comfortable. We had button downs and polos, and we were relaxed, classy. I don't know. Is that a thing? I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So you don't want to go in there with t-shirts and sweatpants. You know what I mean? You want to you know, we wore shorts, but they were nice shorts. They weren't like jean shorts or anything like that. But and we had our button downs. But like Mark said, it's not ritzy, but it's not casual either. And I will say the waiter there was excellent too. We actually got really lucky on this trip. We had
Yeah.
really great service people that took care of us, and this guy really got us right. Like he was asking Mark and Matt if they were Italian, and he knew right away like the vibe. And I told him I'm Italian from in my waist, in my stomach, uh, and he thought that was
Yeah.
funny. So he got what we were doing, and he recommended some great food for us.
Yeah. So we started off, we all had a drink, then we had some apps. We had the octopus, which was
Yeah,
okay, lights out. I mean,
yeah.
it's just lights out. A lot of people hear the word octopus and they're turned off. Listen, if octopus is cooked right, and this was grilled, if it's cooked right and it's tender, it's fantastic. We had that, oysters,
Yep. And then Matt
right?
had a antipasta salad, right?
Yeah,
Well, he didn't.
whatever.
He didn't want either.
He cheats.
He's
No,
not
he
a
cheats.
seafood
He
guy.
cheats the oysters,
Yeah.
and Matt's a fake Italian who only eats like whatever he feels like eating at the time.
Well, no, it was
He
prosciutto and
no, he's
cheese and
fake. That's
olives. The Kalamata olives, right?
yeah,
But that was all good. And then we were trying to decide like, what are we doing for dinner? Like when we're going back and
yeah,
forth, and we finally just asked the waiter, and he talked up these two dishes, and he said you could really go either way. So I went with, if you're going to the Chazz Palminteri, he's from the Bronx Tail. There's a dish called the Bronx Tail. Like, all right, I'll get that.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it was this huge lobster tail with clams, shrimp, mussels, kind of like a cioppino style, and it was probably the best seafood dish I've ever had in my life. The lobster was cooked perfect. It's so easy to overcook it. And then all the shellfish in there. Again, nothing was really overdone at all. The shrimp were great. Like when you're cooking all the different types of seafood like that, it's so hard to get everything perfectly done. But that was great. And the sauce in there was like a red sauce, but like had a little bite to it, a little spice, and it perfectly complemented it, everything going down. And then you and Mac, got this monstrosity.
yeah. So
This,
I got a veal chopped parm. So they called it rack and veal parmesan. I never had a piece of veal that tender in my life. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not trying to blow this guy. Like, if it sucked, I would have told you it sucked. I mean, it cost what it cost. And going in, but this was not a veal cutlet parm that you get at friggin' Pesto or wherever you do when you go down here. No, I'm against Pesto. You
all
understand
right.
what I'm saying?
It's
We're
not the
talking apples
diner.
and oranges.
It's not veal porn
Yeah,
from the diner. Yeah.
this was a whole chop, split, butterflied open. And if we show you the picture, it just seems like it went on forever.
Right.
And I never needed a knife. Yeah, I mean, it hung over the plate, the bone sticking out of the top. It came with a side of pasta. I ate it just with a fork, and it melted. It was perfect. I was glad I got it. I like to order veal when I go out because I don't cook veal. I don't really buy veal. So I don't want to eat stuff that I eat at home. And this was worth every penny and then some, but it was a monster. And I'm not ashamed to say, yes, I finished it. There was nothing but a bone left in that dish, but I was hurting. I was hurting. Yeah, I was hurting after. Oh, I picked it up. Yeah, I wish we should have videoed that. I mean, I'm not, listen, $75 a plate. I'm eating what's on that bone. I'm getting my money's worth. And I gnawed on that bone like a dog, and I didn't care. But Chazz Palminteri, I mean, listen, New York obviously has thousands of restaurants. And I'm sure, and maybe there is a place better. I've never eaten anywhere better in New York City than Chazz Palminteri.
No, I agree. I loved it. I didn't really know what to expect, and I was very vocal about it. I was like, I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
listen, I trust Mark, and he said, you're gonna love it, and I did, and that's why I love going to dinners with him because he knows what's good food.
Thank you.
All right.
Next, we went to the Hershey store because, again, I have a sweet tooth. I love sweet stuff. We walked around. I couldn't decide what I was going to get, but then I saw this counter where you could make your own Reese cup. I put Reese's Pieces, marshmallows, the peanut butter mix, all kinds of stuff in there. That's this huge little shell, and then they try and stuff everything in there with a top, and they seal it, and then they give it to you. This thing had to weigh at least 3 pounds. It was massive. Here it is, an advertisement for it. Stuff your own cup in New York City.
All right, guys. So, again, we apologize for the wait. We know that, we've been getting, our friends and family have been wondering when we're going to do another episode. So make sure you share it. So when the next episode comes out and you're following us, you get that email. And don't forget to call the Yo Eat This line. We have some pranksters calling. And
Idiot Pizzetti.
yeah.
I'm talking to you. I said your name. I said your full name. And what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Nothing.
You better watch out. He's not going to come over. He's not going to come over and fix your sink anymore.
That's all right. He already put the faucet in. I don't give a shit. No. I love him. I love him like family. He's a good dude.
But yeah, call that line. Let us know where you want us to go next. We're going to plan out a couple more spots.
We got some stuff. Yeah, we promise you're not going to get another 8-week gap or however long this has been. We got some things lined up. We're going to a new Great Wolf in a couple weeks.
Yes.
We'll see if there's anything near there that we can find. They just opened a Great Wolf Lodge right at the border of Maryland. It's like 40 minutes from Mike. It's an hour from me. So we're going to go. I don't know what we're going to find in Perry, whatever, Maryland, but
yeah,
hopefully we'll find something.
Bumblefuck.
And even if we find a shit box, we'll bring you the shit box.
Yeah, that'll be fun. We'll just rip on some hick food.
Yeah, I'm heading down to Florida and Hilton Head in November. So I'll have some stuff, and football's here, and we're going to have some football stuff.
And Emily
and I, we'll be talking about deep fried turkeys.
Yeah, right. Emily and I are heading to Costa Rica, so we're going to hit the all-inclusive restaurants there. We're going to be there for about 6 days, so I'll make sure to show you some frozen drinks and food by the ocean. Other than that, we're going to do our best to get these out on a regular schedule again. Summer is just crazy busy, so we just want to wrap it up and say, thank you for sticking with us. Please like and share, and call that Yo Eat This line. Thanks.
Take it easy.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us for more info.